Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Ask BQ on BloombergQuint Live. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Hi Navneet, happy Friday to you. I'll say it to both of you. Happy Friday to all of you. I'm Alex Matthew, and if you've got questions on equity, this is the perfect show for you. You can send them to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. You can also call us on 022-454-04141, or you can mail us on askbq@bloombergquint.com.
Happy Friday to you, Alex, and maybe the markets are also celebrating because we are in the green for the second straight day. If you look at the Nifty, which was taking some bit of support at 50 DMA, and for majority of the session, at least so far, Nifty has been trading above the mark of 20 DMA, which is a positive sign. Let's see where the closing comes about. But for the time being, Nifty at levels of about 12,232. Sensex also sitting with gains of about 144 points. The broader markets continue to participate in this rally. In fact, in the month of January, we've seen outperformance from mid-cap as well as small-cap index, which have gained between 5 to 6% respectively. So there you go. Today also they are outperforming, gains of nearly 1% seen for both the indices. The market breadth is also looking quite healthy, clearly in favor of the advances. The ratio is right now 2:1. Let's just pull up the Nifty contributors then and tell you which are the stocks which are contributing to those 50 points gain today. Some participation now coming back at least from the private banking space, which had dented the sentiment post the numbers from the likes of HDFC or Kotak Mahindra Bank. We'll watch out for ICICI Bank as this one comes out with its earnings tomorrow, and L&T has bounced back post its numbers. Yesterday also the stock was up and about. What's capping the moves? Infosys, a heavyweight there, and also featuring in the same space as TCS. So Nifty IT, actually, even if you look at the sectoral indices, that's the sole laggard today, down about nearly 40 points in trade. But strength seen from your sectoral indices from the likes of metals as well as auto, both seeing good gains of between 1 to 1.2%. Very quickly then, just want to highlight a few gainers from the broader market. Century Textiles has had a good run post the demerger of its cement business. So that counter is up 6.5% today. India Bulls Housing, second straight day of gains coming by. Remember yesterday in bulk deal, you had Credit Suisse buying 0.5% stake. JSPL also showing some strength today. While some results reaction, you got HDFC Life, which is down. It's been an outperformer, gained almost 60% in last 1 year. I think the VNB margins, according to a couple of brokerage notes, they seem to have disappointed. Maybe that's why you're seeing some profit booking. Zensar Technologies, revenues down 5%, profits down 50% on sequential basis. Poor set of earnings. The stocks also reacted negatively to that. And a couple of other losers. PNB Housing came out with its numbers during market hours yesterday, and you did see the stock tumbling 6%. And today also, after looking at the fine print, the asset quality seems to be a big worry here. That's down about 11%, and Adani Gas also tumbling about 5 to 6% in trade, Alex. But net, I think things are looking better after the sell-off that we had seen.
All right, well, that's how the markets look. Like Navneet points out, there's interest in the broader markets. Let's get our two experts in for the day then. We've got Nilesh Jain of Anand Rathi Shares and Stockbrokers, and Astha Jain of Hem Securities, both here to answer all of your questions today. Welcome to the show to the both of you. I want to start by taking you through a couple of technical picks that Nilesh has sent to us. The first one is a buy call on ISEC with a stop loss of 442 and a target of 466. That's ICICI Securities for you. And the second one is another buy call, this time on Larsen & Toubro with a stop loss of 1,330 and a target of 1,375. The stock is active in trade today, up as much as 1.5%.
Okay, so those are some technical ideas that you should monitor. Okay, let's start taking some viewer queries, and we're getting a lot of technical queries. And okay, let me take a query on Ultratech first. We've got one of our viewer, and remember the numbers also of this company, they come out today. So one of our viewer had a query on Ultratech wanting to know what levels should monitor currently on the chart. So 4554, let's just pull up the last 3-month or 1-month chart. I think that's going to give you a better picture as to how the stocks performed in the last 1 or 3 months. Remember, we've seen some traction coming back from the cement space, and Ultratech in the last 3 months has shown strength of about 5 to 6%. Nilesh, I'll come to you first. What's the view on the chart? Of course, the numbers will come out in a while for this one, but is there any trade to be taken ahead of the numbers?
To you. Well, overall structure of overall cement space looking positive, the kind of rebound that we have seen in overall cement space, I think this momentum should continue on the higher side. If you look at the structure for the ultralight cement, we have already witnessed a consolidation breakout. The breakout level was placed at 4400. If at all somebody is holding long position, I think one should remain long for the upside target of 4700 and 4800. And at current level, I would suggest better to avoid creating any sort of long position, wait for the result to come out. If post result you manage to get this counter somewhere close to 4500, I think that should be the better level to for the fresh entries for the long side. Stop loss for all the long positions should be placed at 4400. Overall structure for all the cement counters looking positive.
Nilesh, so Ujjwal has been holding the stock at levels of 3865. Would you advise him to continue holding it, or he should just look to book profits?
Well, Navneet, definitely it's a hold, and I would suggest to keep a trailing stop loss here. The trailing stop loss should be placed at 4,000. I think he's already gaining some sort of a price action. He should remain long for the upside target of 4700 to 4800.
Okay, we've got a mail query from Vatsal Tripathi, and Vatsal wants to know about a couple of stocks that have actually had a pretty good few months now. There's Granules India and there's Biocon also. And the question really is not for the near term, though. The question is for the next 5 years, which is the better bet? Granules as of now down about 2.8% and Biocon unchanged. Asta, what's the view on the fundamentals?
Good afternoon. Looking after fundamentals of Granules and Biocon, even I'm liking both these stocks, although in the today's trading session, we are seeing that one stock is flat, that is Biocon, while other stock is showing some sort of volatility. But my point here is that we are very much positive on the Biocon in the long-term horizon. And while talking about the Granules, the kind of stellar number this company has posted. So even this company is also looking good. But the only problem is with the pledging of the shares, because in the Granules India, we have witnessed that the promoters have some sort of pledging in their shares. So that is the only concern which I'm having in the Granules India. Otherwise, my point is both these stocks are really good for the longer term. But if anyone is to pick, then Biocon is really looking good.
Okay, Biocon is the preferred pick. And remember, they came out with the earnings yesterday. The stock's not reacted too much. And the earnings also did not enthuse the market too much. Pravantan Chan on YouTube writes to us, he's been holding Info Edge at levels of 2,597. He wants to know whether he should look to increase his quantity at current levels. His time horizon, however, is flexible. Nilesh, I'll come to you. 2,597 is his entry price. The stock is currently trading, I guess, above that mark, northwards of 2,600. What would you advise him to do?
Well, today we have witnessed a fresh breakout in this counter. As a part of disclaimer, we already have recommended to our clients on the buy side in today's trading session. I think he should remain long, and if at all he want to do the average, wait for some sort of a profit booking from the higher levels. If he manage to get somewhere close to 2,600 again, then I think that's a better level for the entry from risk and reward perspective. On the higher side, the target that we are looking for is 2,800 and 2,850. These are the two immediate target from short-term perspective we are expecting, and he should remain long with a strict stop loss below 2,500.
Okay, well, we've got a query from Krishna Romikuntla, and very kindly Krishna pointed out that we missed his query yesterday, so I'm going to take it today. Wants a view on a couple of stocks on the fundamentals, Kaya and All Cargo Logistics, both very different plays. I don't know if you have a view on Kaya, on Asta, but based on the fundamentals, he's already holding Kaya at 992. The stock has given up a lot of that and it's trading around 400, around 410. And we have All Cargo Logistics that he bought at 178. So he's wondering whether he can average at these levels.
Talking about Kaya Limited, I'm not very much positive on this stock because this stock is a continuous loss. I mean, the stock is showing continuous losses in their financial performance, so it is not really infusing optimism in the company. So, idea is to stay away from the Kaya. Now, talking about All Cargo Logistics space as a whole of late is looking very strong, and All Cargo Logistics in itself is looking very strong. So, I think if anyone has to go between these two stocks, then All Cargo Logistics is our preferred pick.
Okay, pull up Gujarat Gas and check what the stock has been up to in today's trading session. Remember, the gas distribution companies have been outperforming. We've seen IGL trading at its live high. So Gujarat Gas is just up about 1% at 293. One of our viewer, handle name is Boss, has entered into the stock at 230. Nilesh, what would your advice be to him? He's making money. Should he stay put with the position, or he's also asking, should he look to add more at current levels?
Well, Navneet, could you please repeat the name of the stock?
Gujarat Gas, entry level is 230 and the stock currently is trading at levels of 293.
Well, see, overall structure looks positive, although we have already witnessed some sort of a rebound from the lower levels. At current level, I think it should remain long. The overall structure looks positive. On the downside, the stop loss that is coming around 275. On the high side, 320 is the immediate level that one can look for.
All right, Aditya Venkat wants a view on Mahindra and Mahindra. Let's quickly take a fundamental view then. How are you viewing it? Auto sector, are you still waiting and watching for some of that uptick that a lot of people say should come about? Are you seeing any signs of that, Asta? And also, then we'll go and take a technical query. But first, the fundamentals.
Talking about fundamentals, the auto space is not looking very attractive, barring few auto stocks, because the volume growth which we have witnessed post festive season was like not that encouraging, although it was good in the festive season of Diwali I'm talking about, but afterward the volume growth was really tepid. So my idea is auto stocks will take at least another 1 or 2 quarters more to show some sort of recovery. But I'm not very much positive on the M&M at present juncture, but I'm really positive on other auto stocks, in which Bajaj Auto is our preferred pick. I am very much positive on Maruti also. So Bajaj Auto, Maruti, and in fact Ashok Leyland is also looking strong. Okay. But for M&M, it's really weak for now.
It is looking weak on the fundamentals. Let's very quickly take Nilesh's view on the technicals then. Nilesh, what do you say on Mahindra?
Well, Alex, from very short-term perspective, we have seen higher top, higher bottom on the daily chart. So immediately we may see the momentum to continue from short-term perspective towards the levels of 580 to 590. Those are the immediate targets that we are still looking for. We are positive on this particular counter. And on the downside, the stop loss for all the long positions should be placed at 555. Just want to add that from the auto space, Hero MotoCorp is our preferred pick. That looks positive. And we are expecting on the higher side the target of 2550. So on the alternative basis, I would suggest to go with Hero MotoCorp.
Okay, so technically, Nilesh likes Hero Moto on the charts within the auto pack. Nilesh, I'm going to come to you. Ananta Venkata, one of our viewer on Facebook. So he's highlighted 3 stocks. He's asking from a shorter term horizon between L&T Technologies, L&T Tech or NIT Tech, which one would you choose?
Definitely, see, NIT Tech, if you look at, we have already seen a kind of a surge. There might be possibility of some sort of a correction of profit booking. So NIT Tech is better to avoid at current level. Apart from that, LTTS, that is another counter I think you have just mentioned. Still looking positive. The fresh breakout has been witnessed on the chart. 1600 is the level. From those levels, we saw the breakout has come in. From the stop loss of the same, one can remain long or add a fresh long position current level as well. On the higher side, 1800 to 1850 are the immediate target that we are expecting.
All right, Bharat has written us a mail and he says that he subscribed to the IPO of Fine Organics, and he points out that the stock is now given him 3 times the value of the amount that he put in at the IPO. It's currently trading at 2,230. The question, Asta, that he's asking is whether he should book profits at this stage or should he add more?
Talking about Fine Organics, as we are very much positive on the chemical space, as I have already said this thing to on your channel last week also. So Fine Organics is really good, looking good in it. So here the idea is that if a horizon is a short term, then book partial profit, not whole of the profit. But if the horizon is long term, then really I would like to say stay invested in this stock.
Okay, that's Fine Organics for you. Last 6 months, the stocks rallied about nearly 60% in trade. Asta, fundamental view on Edelweiss. One of our viewers has been holding 300 shares at a higher level of about 200. He wants to know, should he stay put with this investment or look to average also at current levels? Of course, the stock's been under pressure of late because of the probe which is ongoing against the promoters.
Navneet, when such sort of news inflow come, then definitely it's not creating optimism in the stock, and that's why we are seeing that stock is falling a lot. My idea is if one wants to play safe, then it's better to exit from the stock because we don't know what will be the outcome in the coming future. So it's better to stay away from the stock and rather invest in the quality stocks in which, like chemical space, I'm very much positive. So Rallis India is looking good, although it is in agrochemical. Alkyla Mines is looking good, and FL India is looking good. So it's better to invest in these stocks and exit from the Edelweiss, not to stay invested or average at the present point of time. This is my idea for the Edelweiss.
All right, FDC Limited, it's a pharmaceutical research and development company which Mayank Saraf points out makes electral powder and has been, what he says is declaring excellent results, what he sees. And he's looking to add more for the next 2 years. He's bought at levels of 175, stock is at 233. It's a stock that has a market capitalization of just under 4,000 crore rupees. Asta, do you have a fundamental view on this?
Sorry, I don't track the stocks. I'm not able to comment on this.
Fair enough. Nilesh, on the charts, do you see any trends that you can point out to us for FDC Limited?
FDC, if I'm not wrong, it is quoting somewhere close to 233.
That's right.
Right. So overall structure looks positive, making higher top, higher bottom. Clearly the trend is in positive side. On the higher side, one can look for the target of 250 to 270. So definitely if somebody is holding long position should remain long. Now the stop loss for all the long positions should be placed somewhere close to 218 and stay put for the long position.
Okay, that's FDC for you. And Westlife Development, that counter was quite active yesterday after it posted its December quarter numbers. Harish Kumar writes to us and he wants views for this one for the next 1 to 2 years. Asta, the numbers were quite good, especially in the form of same-store sales growth. Now, in the last 2 quarters, on a sequential basis, we are witnessing an increase in same-store sales growth, be it for Westlife or for that matter, even Jubilant Food Works. Of course, we'll await for the numbers of Jubilant for December quarter. But are you bullish in this QSR space for the next 1 to 2 years if somebody wants to take a fresh bet here?
Yes, I'm bullish on this space as a whole, and even I'm lacking Jubilant Food Work for that reason. Talking about Westlife, yes, the results were outstanding. Even this company was loss making some time back, but now they are really starting. They are really turnarounding and they are starting showing profits in the bottom line. And in fact, the growth is superb because it was more than 90% jump which they have shown in their bottom line for this Q3 FY20. So Westlife is really looking good at present moment of time. So one should really stay invested in the stock, and upside can be 10-20% from the current levels.
All right, HDFC Bank up about 0.3% as we speak right now, and it's the second day of gains after having lost a bit of ground over the last few sessions. In fact, since the 17th, that is last Friday, it's been losing ground. But the question really is from Electronic Videos, which is the handle name. Should you choose HDFC Bank on the charts based on the technicals, or would you go for ICICI Bank based on what you see on the charts, Nilesh?
Purely from the basis of chart, I think we should definitely go with ICICI.
Yeah, all right. Sorry, Nilesh, we can't hear what you're saying because I think your phone's ringing. If you can get that in order, and then we can take the query.
So I was saying that ICICI Bank is looking positive compared to HDFC Bank. Although the results are out for the HDFC Bank as well, the kind of correction we have seen, now we might see sort of a recovery or pullback rally from the lower levels. But I think if you have to choose from ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, definitely ICICI Bank should be the preferred pick. On the higher side, the level that we can look for is 550 to 580. The stop loss for all the long position in ICICI Bank should be placed below 510.
Okay, and the stock will be in focus ahead of its numbers tomorrow. Asta, you did mention you like pharma stocks, Biocon, Granules. What's the view on Sun Pharma? Jason wants to know.
Talking about Sun Pharma in particular, my view is that this stock will really show some sort of a strong performance, not in the nearby, but maybe in the coming 2 quarters or 3 quarters. So Sun Pharma for the long-term point of view is looking attractive in the pharma space. But for the short term, I think even Ipca Lab is looking very strong because the kind of domestic formulations this company is into, they are really showing very strong growth when this company has shown fantastic performance in the last quarter. So yes, Sun Pharma for the long term, but for the short term, we are very much positive on the IPCA levels.
All right, JM Financial has had a fantastic start to the year. It's currently trading at 108, which is at least a 52-week high, or close to a 52-week high. 110 is that number. The question is from Piyush Thakur, should you get in at these levels is the question. And what are the stop loss and target that you would recommend, Nilesh? It's already gained significant ground. Would you enter these levels?
Well, if you look at the weekly structure from positional perspective of 6 to 8 months, I would suggest definitely one can go long at current level or by any sort of a dip you get towards the levels of 100. And overall structure looks positive for the upside levels of 120 to 125. The short-term target that we are looking for is 120. From positional perspective, one can wait for the target of 130 to 135 as well. The stop loss from very short-term perspective could be placed at 95. And for the positional trade, the stop loss is coming around somewhere close to 88.
And the stock's had a good run up in the last 6 months. It's up about 50%. Asta, I don't know if you track NLC India. It's a company which is into mining and it's also a power company. One of our viewers, Sandeep Kumar, has been holding 2,000 shares at levels of 61. The stock's currently quoting at 57 to 58. He wants to know the growth prospects here and whether he should stay put with this investment.
I'm sorry again because I really don't track this company. So I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, Sandeep, we'll try and help you out. I'll at least get you the technical view. Nilesh, on the charts, it's a company named NLC India, currently trading at levels of 57, 58. His entry price is 61. What are the charts indicating? It's gained about 6% in last 1 month.
Right, but if you look at the previous 2 sessions, it has corrected from the levels of 62 to almost the levels of 55. So I would, if you look at the structure, the possibilities are very high that it may pull back towards the levels of 60 to 61, but the major breakout level is still placed at 62.5. The moment it breaks above 62.5, then we might see a rally towards the levels of 70 as well. So wait for the breakout level, and for the long position, the stop loss should be placed now below 54 and remain long.
Yeah, another query for you, Nilesh. This again, 2 heavyweights, Bajaj Finance versus HDFC Limited. Love Lab wants to know which one to pick based on the technicals at the current levels.
Bajaj Finance, the kind of a run-up that we have seen, I think now we might see some sort of a consolidation in this particular counter. And the other stock that, if you look at the HDFC Limited, the overall both the structure for both the counters are looking similar. The run-up that we have seen in both the counters are phenomenal. At this moment, I think HDFC Limited looks quite positive since the consolidation is going with slightly positive bias. So one can go long in HDFC Limited for the upside levels of 2500 to 2550, and the stop loss for the same is coming around 2400. It's a trading call, and from positional as well, HDFC Limited looks quite positive compared to Bajaj Finance.
Okay, watch out for those stocks, and we're getting a lot of queries on SBI Life. So let's just pull up the stock and check what that's currently doing. Asta, a lot of our viewers, they want to know the fundamental growth prospects of this company, and we know how the insurance space has outperformed. At least the stock prices have done well, and the key reason for majority of the market experts to be bullish in this space is because India into the insurance space is still as a market very much underpenetrated. Within this space, would you take a bet on SBI Life?
Yes, I would like to take a bet on SBI Life, but not for the short-term horizon, because the operating performance which this company has posted, so it was not very much encouraging, and plus the valuations are very stretched. I mean, very much stretched at the present moment of the time, because the stock has already shown a decent run-up. So my idea is yes, because this insurance as a space is looking very much attractive. So for the long term, yes, SBI Life is a really good bet. But if anyone wants to take it for the short term, then they have to really, change their horizon. For the long term, it is a good bet to hold on.
All right, Rajan Shah is looking for a short-term view on L&T. I just want to remind you, Nilesh did give you a view on L&T, and he's calling a buy at the current level, and we've given you the levels that you need to watch out for. It's time to hit the rapid-fire segment, but I just want to quickly remind both our experts to keep their answers as short and as cogent as possible. It's a short-term query again to start with. Nilesh, on Infosys, we've got YY, who's holding at levels of 766, and he's looking to hold for the next 2 weeks. What are the levels he should watch out for?
Remain long. Upside, we might see the levels of 785 to 790. The stop loss should be placed now at 768.
Asta Century Textile, one of our viewers holding at levels of 400, wants to know, should he use the current opportunity, the stock's been moving higher, to exit, or he should stay put? The stock currently trades at 626.
Stay put is my advice, and our target for the same is 680.
Asta, L&T Finance Holdings bought at levels of 130, especially after the results. Krish is wondering whether to hold on.
I think it's better to exit from the stock and make investment in the chemical companies like already recommended Alkyl.
Nilesh, a view on Maruti. Somebody's got 7,200 call option. What would your advice be?
Well, currently it is finding support near 7,100. The moment it breaks below 7,100, it should exit from its call option. It might be considered as a structural breakdown.
All right, Strides Pharma is the next short-term query. It's currently trading at 418 or 19 or thereabouts. We've got Sagar, who's bought at levels, or no, rather he's wondering whether to buy, and can it reach 500 levels, Nilesh?
Definitely, it's a perfect bet for 500 sort of a target, but it's a positional call, and wait for some sort of a profit booking correction. Buy in the range of 405 to 410. Stop loss should be placed at 390. Upside target 450 and 500.
Asta, fundamental view on ITC?
Fundamentally not looking so strong, but yes, buy on dips is always recommended. So for the long term, the story looks intact.
Asta, Edelweiss bought at an average price of 200. I think it's done. All right, let's take something else then. If you've
Okay,
got
I think
one.
we can take GAIL, Asta. What's the view here?
GAIL is looking strong, but only for the long term, not in the short.
What about Tata Elxsi holding at an average of 1,220, Asta?
Definitely a hold from my side.
Okay.
Technically on the charts, Nilesh, would you advise someone to book profits into HDFC Life or stay put?
Yes, definitely one should look to book profit. The trend has turned negative, and if at all somebody wants to wait, then the stop loss now should be placed at somewhere close to 600.
What about BPCL and RITES? Margesh wants to know. I guess he's wondering based on fundamentals, Asta.
Fundamentally, RITES is looking quite strong. So our view is that stay invested in the RITES, and BPCL is a news-driven stock. So again, if one can take risk, then BPCL is also a stock in which one can stay invested in.
Okay, very quickly, I'm just going to squeeze in one last query. Nilesh, on the charts, Bata, which is trading at all-time high levels, what should be the next level to be watched?
Well, the next level looks quite likely is 1900, and I think one should wait for some sort of a profit booking and correction and buy in the range of 1800. It's a perfect bet, and one should definitely go long with a stop loss below 1800.
All right, that's all we have for you in this edition of Ask PQ. I'd like to thank both our experts. Thank you so much, Nilesh and Asta, for helping us and helping our viewers out with all the queries that you did answer today.
Remember, we're just a tweet, post, or a call away, so please keep your queries coming, and we promise to address at least most of them through our shows. In fact, for all our previous episodes, please visit our YouTube channel or our website, BloombergQuint.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend, and stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.
Rabindranath Tagore University, formerly known as ISECT